And you see the directions are still shown there as an overlay. And when I get in close enough, the map automatically switches into a satellite photograph view, so I can sort of get a sense for the area. And lo and behold, there's Madison Square Garden. So now I'm really worried. OK, the traffic's going to be terrible. I think I have a good excuse now. We should probably get local food rather than a place that's a big chain. I think I'm going to tell Steve maybe we should go somewhere different. I can touch the Where Am I button down on the bottom. The map will zoom up and out and into my location here at the same view level, so I can see that as well. What I'm going to do now is go, sorry, I'm going to go back here. And I want to find a different place, so I can give Steve a suggestion. And a great way to do that is to use the search capabilities that are built into the phone. And we thought that using your mobile phone to find stuff in the real world with a dedicated hardware button for search was a super important scenario to deliver. And so we've built a lot of work both in the phone and on the Bing backend to make these tasks really simple. So let's say I want to suggest to Steve Thai food. So I'm going to push the search button. And there comes the Bing page. You notice up there it says New York. It's already recognized my location. And that works via GPS, via Wi-Fi, lots of mechanisms to help get the location. I start typing, and the Bing backend is able to make suggestions based on the kinds of searches that people are doing in mobile. And searching for restaurants is a pretty common one, so it suggests Thai food. I'm going to pick that, and what we do that's different, we wanted to move beyond just an HTML page with a bunch of blue hyperlinks and give you a rich search experience that helps you make decisions about where to go in the real world and what kinds of things to do. So I've done a search for Thai food, and what you see up on the top, I get a little map result. I can zoom in on that to see where all these places are. Or I get a rich list view that shows me a whole lot of Thai restaurants. Now, I might have typed Thai food in because I wanted to learn about Thai food or maybe decide whether a dish was what I wanted. So right here, this view also gives me access to web results. It's just a fast pivot away, and I could jump to the Wikipedia entry. But in this case, Bing actually did guess correctly. I'm interested in finding a Thai restaurant. So I can look down the list, and I want you to notice the ways in which we focused on helping you make a decision. So here's this list of Thai restaurants, and they're pretty much all really close by, a mile away, a half mile away, 1.1 miles away. And if Bing has been able to get a rating, the rating is shown. Now, I might be inclined to go to this Crower Thai, which is just a half mile away, but if I pan down the list, I can see, well, it doesn't have that great of a rating, and Isle Thai has 4.5 stars. Let me touch Isle Thai, and Bing is giving me a bunch of information presented in a very consistent way to help me decide whether this is where I want to go. There's the phone number, so I can call and talk to them and ask them a question. I could navigate to their website, or right here, fast and easy, I've got the hours for the restaurant, so I know if I should go. Similarly, I can pan over and actually read some of the reviews that people have posted to get a sense for whether I trust them and whether that's information I want to use to make my decision. So having looked at all this, I'm now pretty convinced I have a better alternative. We should get local food here in New York, something we can't get in Seattle. So down here on the app bar, I'm going to push the share button to share my search result with Steve. I could choose to send it to him email, or I could choose to send it to him via a text message. So I'm going to use the messaging experience. I'll start typing. There we recognize Steve. And you notice it's put the address right in here. So when I press send, and that goes to Steve's phone, and he gets it, the address will be recognized. He can touch it just once, immediately navigate to the map, and get directions without having to do a lot of manual work. And that, in our opinion, is an example of smart design and really trying to knit this task together in a way that the user gets Bing to help them to make a decision, the map to help find where something is, and then all the communications capabilities of the phone to help present that to somebody else. There are lots of things that we've tried to do well with Bing. We have a system called Instant Answers, where we'll give you the answer to a question on things like celebrity information, or movie times, or stock quotes. And we wanted to reduce that system down to literally one click. And so wherever I am on my phone, I can press and hold Start. Alaska Flight 7. Just talk to the phone. The audio is packaged up and sent to the server, where our Tell Me service can analyze it using the cloud backend. If we have network connectivity here in a second, you'll see Tell Me. Now imagine this is a big cloud service with tons of servers that's been analyzing people's phone calls.
Can't access Bing right now.
Okay, so we're having a network connectivity
Please try
problem.
Again later.
Trust me, and you all will get to try this on your own phones very shortly. The Tell Me service is very good at in fact, I'm going to try it again. I'm feeling brave. Here we go. Alaska Flight 7. As you know, it can be tricky when many of you have cell phones and Wi-Fi connections in one crowded room.
Searching for Alaska Flight 7.
See? I trust that tell me back end. So I just speak a few words. My audio is sent to the servers where the servers do the hard work of recognizing it, and I get back an instant answer. There's Alaska Flight 7, which leaves Newark at 6:30 p.m. and is going to arrive in Seattle on time tonight at 9:40. Really common task. You have to go pick somebody up at the airport. You're heading to a flight. Just press and say it to your phone and let your phone do the work for you. We think that's another great example of smart design. Okay, so that's smart design. Hopefully you get the idea of these design touches and ways that we wanted to make the phone really delightful in your use and help you get in, get out, and get back to your real life. And now I want to talk about the Windows Phone hubs, where we try to integrate all the aspects of the most common experiences. And I'm going to start with people. There are 6 Windows Phone hubs, and they center around common tasks. And the way they work is, imagine the screen is wider than your phone. And so it's very convenient for you to just pan over. I can see recent people, I can see all people, or I can see what's new with my people. And in the People Hub, we try to pull together all the people that you care about. The recent people are people that I've communicated with. And therefore, it's like automatically creating a speed dial for me. But it's better than just a speed dial. In fact, you saw on my start experience, I put my wife. So at any time, I can press start. I can go to my wife, who we moved right here. And with just a couple of presses, I not only have speed dial and speed text, which you'd expect from a phone, but I also have speed wall posting. So I can go right here, touch right on wall if I want to post something on my wife's Facebook wall. I can pan over and see what's new with this person. So I have speed social networking consumption. You think about the way people are communicating today. They're communicating with things like phone and text, but they're also communicating through social networks. And you can see, here's what my wife has been posting on Facebook. Thanks for the kind sentiment there at the top. She's posted pictures from our son's birthday. She took our kids to the local fair. We were excited when the Seattle Storm had a great year in the WNBA. You get the idea. It's a way to stay in touch with the people that I care most about and put them front and center in the experience. As I said, the People Hub also keeps track of these things for you automatically, so recent is always right there. Here's the list of all my people. That's the Me tile up there where I can go update my own Facebook status. But as I pan down, you'll see I have lots and lots of people. And what we do, and you'll also notice they pretty much all have photos. And the reason why that's true, we take your contacts from all the services you connect to. You just sign in once at the beginning. Sign into Windows Live once. Sign into Facebook once. Sign into Yahoo once. And we link all of these contacts together automatically. So when I open one, in fact, I forgot to point this out. When I open my wife, you'll notice up on top there it says this is her information coming from both Windows Live and Facebook. So it's really easy for me to get at all that content in one place. And as you saw in my wife, I can get the what's new information for all my people aggregated together. So if I have a few spare moments while I'm standing in line somewhere, I can jump into the People Hub and see what everybody is posting on Windows Live or Facebook or other social networks that connect through Windows Live. That's the People Hub. The idea is it brings together everything you care about from people. Next up, let's talk about pictures. We think Windows phones are going to be absolutely amazing devices for taking pictures and for dealing with pictures. And you saw some of that, but I want to show you the Pictures Hub. Because these phone devices have such gorgeous screens and are so handy, we wanted to make it a great way for you to consume pictures on your own on your phone or to use your phone as a device to show other people pictures. So when I go into the Pictures Hub, you see those are my twins, and that background was automatically selected for me. I didn't have to do any work. The phone helped in that customization. As I pan over, you can see some of the pictures I've taken recently and other pictures that I've favorited in my experience. And on the far right, again, here's the What's New feed, but in this case, it's focused on all of my friends' activity with photos. Anytime my friends take photos and post them on Windows Live or Facebook or any connected network on Windows Live, they automatically show up here in the feed, so I have one place to go to browse through my friends' activity as it relates to photos. And that ability to browse photos in the cloud isn't limited to just what your friends do. A very real scenario for me is I'll see someone and they say, how are the twins? You got any pictures? Well, on my phone, I have the pictures I've taken. I have folders that I've synced from my PC, but the phone automatically also shows me all of my albums on Facebook and Windows Live. So here you see a Barcelona album on Windows Live, and down here is my family photo album on Facebook. I can simply touch, I'll turn the phone sideways, and now I have a really nice, high-quality way of showing people like you pictures of my cute kids. Don't you love this? Just what you were hoping to see. There we go. And because this is on a social network, I can pan up and add a comment. I can see other people's comments. I can really make that photo experience of my own photos with the community out there very natural. All of this happens automatically. This is the best part. I got a Windows phone. I posted those pictures on Facebook literally like a year ago. I did nothing. I came to the Pictures Hub after signing in once on Facebook. They were just there. OK. Let me talk a little bit about Office. I mentioned earlier that we have Office built in, and I showed you the PowerPoint experience. But I want to show you that we have a whole hub dedicated to Microsoft Office Mobile and these business scenarios. When I go into the Office Hub, the first thing you see is the OneNote area, because we think note-taking on a phone is a scenario we want to really handle in a very good way. I'll come back to that in just a second. If I pan over, you'll see here's my Word, Excel, PowerPoint documents that I've saved on the phone. And if I pan over again, this is the SharePoint area, where we give people access to the documents they're storing within their companies on SharePoint servers. These documents right here I've synced from SharePoint onto my phone. And if I pan over, I have links to these SharePoint servers, so I can go in and browse the server contents and open documents and do real, honest-to-goodness business productivity collaboration with other people at work. I'm going to pan back over here to OneNote, and I want to show you the OneNote experience and a thing that we're trying to do to make sure this whole value add is not limited to the phone. When I go into OneNote, here's my to-do list. If I'm going to edit it, I can touch on here. I can type. I can add a voice note. I can take a picture. But what I want to show you over here is that the experience is not just limited to the phone, but translates to the PC as well. This is just a screenshot in the interest of time. But you'll see if I navigate to windowsphone.com and sign in with my Windows Live ID, I'll see a picture of my own phone. If my phone's lost, I can click a thing on the web to go find it and cause it to ring or wipe its data. The photos that I've been taking will be available there. And right there is the OneNote notebook. And if I push that, I get a OneNote view depending on whether I have the full OneNote application installed or not. If I don't, I have the free OneNote web companion that's available and will work on any PC. And if I have the full version of OneNote, I can use that. And the contents sync between my phone and the PC through the cloud, so my notes are always available wherever I am, whichever device is most convenient for me. And that's just built in and free. Everybody who buys a Windows phone gets that capability to have their notes sync to the cloud and be available on any PC. That's the Office Hub. Just a couple more. Next up, I'm going to jump into music and videos. When I go into the Music and Videos Hub, there are a couple of things that are really interesting that are happening here. On the left, I have access to my Zune library. I could browse through music, videos, and so on. But we wanted to do this in a way that really helped people get to their music and videos with as few clicks as possible. So right next to that, we have a history of the music and video you've been listening to or watching. So I've recently been playing the Black Eyed Peas a lot. You know how this goes with music. You get into an album, you get into a band, you get into a playlist, and you kind of do it over and over again. Well, we made that just a couple of taps away. I can also pan over. Another really key scenario is you want to play stuff that's new. And as an example here, I have some video podcasts and audio podcasts I subscribe to. I'm a fan of the TED Talks. And when new TED Talks come out and are posted, they get synced onto my phone. A tile shows up in new, so I'm prompted. I can just click to jump right in there and watch or listen to my TED Talks. But the other thing about this is that this experience is not limited to content that you might get or use with Zune. We have an open third-party application platform with great ways for applications to integrate right in. And here's an example of third-party applications plugging into the Music and Video Hub. So here I've got YouTube, I've got a lyrics app, and I've got two streaming music applications, iHeartRadio and Slacker. And those applications are able to add tiles here as well. So when I am listening to a radio station on one of those, I can just go touch the tile right there in history. It's a couple of taps away. And that's how the Music and Video Hub integrates not just what we built into the phone, but what our partners build into the phone as well. And then there's a scenario that I really like. You know, I can go in here and browse through my own music catalog, which, you know, if you look here, you see it's not really that big. I've got some artists. I've got some albums. But what's better, because the phone is connected, and because of a feature called Zune Pass, I can use the phone to play just about any music.